Welcome back. Let's continue the conversation now on the standoff between the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, and the EFCC, and now being joined on the program by legal expert Monday Ubani, who joins us, of course, via Zoom. Mr. Ubani, thank you very much for coming on the show. What have you got to say about the drama now, that standoff between the EFCC and former governor Yahaya Bello? Now he's been declared wanted.
I think the action of the former governor in hiding himself from EFCC up to this point in time is not too palatable. Now, let's be factual and let's be truthful about this. If any security agency wants you and say they have a matter or a case against you which they want to investigate, what you should do is to turn yourself in order to avail them of your presence and then respond to whatever questions they have to ask with regards to investigation, because they are empowered under the law to do all that. Now, you don't have a pleasure of running away, because if you do, you're already pronouncing yourself guilty, whereas the law presumes you as an accused person to be innocent. And so what they owe you is to extend all the courtesies that are due to you as an innocent, and then get facts. They are convinced in whatever allegations they have made against you, then they can charge you to court. But when you now hide yourself, when you make yourself unavailable, and you now give the impression that you are guilty of whatever they are alleging against you, it gives an impression that you are not playing the role expected of you as a citizen. If you remember that this person was once a governor of a state, he was once a chief security officer of a state, he was once a person who swore to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so while he was there, the law allows him to enjoy immunity as a governor. But that immunity is lost the moment he steps down from that office. And so if there is any allegation whatsoever, and he knows that he's innocent of it, I don't think the act of running away is actually helping his matter in this circumstance. So I see it as a drama, but I don't know where this drama will end. As I speak to you, Bello himself is still in the hiding. He has not made himself available, which now has made EFCC to declare him wanted, and then probably offer, any price. There's a price tag now on his head that if anyone gives information, EFCC will handsomely reward that person. So it's not a good story to be told.
There's this argument on his side now, and I want you to speak specifically to that because you're a lawyer, so help us understand it. The argument is that he has a prior court judgment in his favor, that a court had already ruled that the EFCC should not arrest him, that no law enforcement agency should arrest him at all, and that there's another case that the EFCC had appealed against, and that judgment had not been given on that case as well. Should that empower him to act in the way that he's acted?
The point is that it is even surprising if any court will make an order asking an agency not to carry out the responsibility that is assigned by law. I doubt any judge that will assume jurisdiction to give such a ruling. But the little I've heard about that particular case that emanated from the State High Court in Kogi is to the fact that the judge says he should not be arrested unless or except there is a court order to that effect. And I think that EFCC now waited for that judgment. I'm sure they have a clear picture of what was said by the judge in the High Court. The issue of jurisdiction is a different topic entirely. They now went to Federal High Court in Abuja, and a judge now ordered that he should be arrested. If you remember that the order of the Federal High Court came after the court order of a state. Yes, I'm even surprised that the court in Kogi assumed jurisdiction to decide on a matter in which a EFCC is a party. But as I said earlier, that will be a matter that will be decided by the Court of Appeal if the matter is on appeal, whether the court in Kogi has jurisdiction. But what I heard later is that the Federal High Court in Abuja now gave an order saying that Bello should be arrested, meaning They are now complying even with the order of the Kogi High Court that says he should not be arrested except by a court order. Now, there is a court order now that says he should be arrested. It doesn't mean that EFCC now is even complying with the order that was given in the State High Court that says he should not be arrested except there is a court order. Since there is a court order now for him to be arrested, they are complying with that court order that was actually given by the State High Court. Whether the court order in the State High Court is right or wrong is a different kettle of fish entirely. But the point is that EFCC now obtained a later court order that says he should be arrested. And so that is what actually transpired based upon the information that is available to me. I don't know whether that piece of information is right. But if I'm right, then that means that EFCC has complied with the order of the State High Court in Kogi.
Now, in spite of these court orders, order, counter orders and all of that, what would have been wrong if the governor just, walked to the EFCC on his own, for instance, or simply just gave himself up rather than resort to this kind of, for me, quite a bizarre behavior for someone at his level?
Yes, I agree with you. Now, there are those who fear detention. I know I've been in detention before, and I know how it feels for you to lose your freedom. There are those that cannot in any way lose their freedom, even for 1 second. I fall into that category. That if I'm in a house now and you lock me, either mistakenly, for 1 second, and I have this particular understanding that I cannot be able to move freely within the environment in which I'm in, I feel very suffocated. I feel very uneasy. So Nigerians really fear detention. And why they fear detention is the condition of detention. You also, with our detention centers, they are not conducive at all. But the point is, for a man of Bello, Yahaya Bello, who happened to be a governor, who knows that even if he is guilty of this case, they will grant him bail, and he will have his day in court. Yahaya Bello can hire as many lawyers as possible. He can employ, many senior advocates of Nigeria, many senior lawyers. And so he is doing what he is doing because President is so lawless that he cannot in any way even honor an invitation by a security agency. Or is there any information he has that if he honors that invitation, they will kill him or they eliminate him and all that? So he will be the one to tell about whatever it is. If many people are not feeling at ease, with his running away. And I'm sure that the government, the political party in which he served as a governor, he has even issued a statement and said, please turn yourself in. You have the court, which we believe in, that will be able to exonerate you at the end of the day if you are not guilty. So by running away, you are giving a very wrong impression about your personality. The Attorney General of the Federation, who is highly respected, who we believe will always do the right thing, has even said, look, Mr. Yahaya Bello, turn yourself in. We believe in the judicial system that at the end of it all, if you are not guilty, you go scot-free. But you are running away is not giving a good impression about your personality and all that. So I don't know why he's doing this. But whatever it is, Yahaya Bello will one day be able to explain to the whole world why he did what he did. Why was he running away when he was wanted? In order to come and explain what the problems are, whether he has committed any crime. We have somebody like Fayoshe who turned himself, in voluntarily. There are so many people in this country that have done that. But we also have people who they have to break the ceiling and the houses and the doors before they were arrested and all that. We had that in Imo State and all that. But I don't think it's the best thing to do with security agencies anywhere. Whenever they come for you, try as much as possible to respect the law, turn yourself in. The highest that can happen is 1 or 2 or 3 days detention, and they release you. Even if they detain you more than 10 days, like I was detained, I didn't die there. It was the greatest school ever that I have been to. I mean, I'm talking about having a experience in the detention camp, in a detention center. It was a very good experience for everyone. And you cannot be great in this country. You can't be great in this world if you are not one way or the other detained. So DEJI, I don't know whether you have been detained before, but for great men and women who eventually become very great in the world, they ended up being one way or the other a guest of a detention center or even prison or correctional center. So it's an experience that everyone must try as much as possible to learn. So I don't know why Bello is running away. For whatever it is, he will tell the world why he ran away, the time he did, and what were the reasons for that running away.
And not only that, you know, at some point he had to procure thugs who prevented the EFCC from doing their job. And then let me get your reaction on the action of the incumbent governor himself, who drove into the residence of Yahaya Bello and then waked him away. What do you make of that?
I am very surprised if it is true, because it's not yet proven. I don't know whether he has spoken concerning that. If the allegation is true that it was the governor that came and whisked him away in order to ensure that he was not arrested, the present governor has actually committed a crime. He has actually committed a crime. That is clearly an obstruction of agencies, you know, from carrying out their lawful duty, and it's criminalized under our criminal code. So I am yet to really know whether it is true that he did that, and he's yet to speak, either deny that he was one of his contrary to the law, so swore to uphold the constitution and the laws of the land. So if he has done that, the governor stands to be condemned. He's supposed not to have done that. And I'm telling you this: if the governor of Kogi State voluntarily, you know, made himself available and tried to whisk Yahaya Bello away from the law, from the agency that came to ask for explanation about alleged crime, he has also committed a crime for which he may likely, face the law after he exhausts his tenure as the governor of that state. You know, so that is it. But is yet to affirm whether he did that. You know, so I'm yet to. I can't make that conclusive statement that he's liable or culpable. But let him be the one to say, no, I did not do that, or I did it. But if he affirms that he did it, he knows the consequences of what he has done, that he has actually violated the law of the land, for which he stands liable, for which he stands to be tried after his tenure has ended as a governor of that state.
Finally, do you think it was necessary for the EFCC to have declared the governor wanted? Should the EFCC had taken that action?
And they are left with no option. You know, they have actually, I don't know whether they have even invited him. Because what I'd expected EFCC to have done with regards to Yahaya Bello, who was once a former governor and who happens to be a citizen of this country, is to invite him, you know, formally, that we have investigation against you. We need to see you in our office and give him a date. Write him officially. I don't know whether they have tried that before the invasion that happened 2 days ago. You know, EFCC have not explained. I don't know whether they have explanation why they have to invade his home, because I have expected them to have invited him.
Yes, the information we have is that he was invited on several occasions, but he spurned those invitations.
Fine. So if he spurned the invitation, the EFCC now has the right to arrest him. One of the highest things you can do to agencies, you know, security agencies, is to snub their invitation or spurn their invitation. When they ask you to come, for God's sake, if you have nothing to hide, you honor them. They are empowered under the law to do what they are doing. And so it's for you to go and explain what the situation is, even if it is by vendetta, even if you feel it's persecution, get your lawyers ready to go to court in order to probably, file a case against violation of your right. But it's not for you to sit down and say, no, I'm not going to honor them. Because if you do that, you are provoking them. You are giving them the power now to come after you by arresting you in a manner they will consider very indecent. So if they have given you invitation and they respond, he had respond them. He would have honored their invitation. He would have been there and explained the circumstance. Whatever amount of money they're alleging that you have stolen, it is for you to now say, no, I did not. And these are my records. You know, that is where I think we should cooperate with the security agencies. And if you cooperate with them, they are very decent. There are a lot of them that are very decent. They will also reciprocate that decency and respect to you. But the moment you now want to show them that you know more than they are knowledgeable about, they also want to mess you up. That is actually what goes on with the security agencies. When you respect them, they will respect you. But when you don't respect them, they will also show you that they are empowered by the law to do what they are doing.
Mr. Monde Ubani, legal expert, thank you very much for your time and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity, DEJI.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us, don't go away.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate detention?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.